when I said the real-time corrupter was designed with ease of use in mind, I was also talking about the glitch harvester. So the glitch harvester is fairly simple to use. What it essentially does is allows you to make a save state, and then what you can do is press blast send and instantly load your save state and corrupt the game at the same time. So how does this all work? Basically, you have a save load button right here. You press, there's a toggle between save and load. The reason it's like this is so that you don't accidentally overwrite your save state. These numbers here are your 20 different save states. Mine is set to 1 right here. Pressing load will load your save state so you can test where you are. Pressing blast/send will send corruptions to the game. I'm only sending 1 byte, one intensity right now, so there's not really much happening. So, yeah. I'm going to explain what all this stuff does as well. Right here you see this stash history. I'm going to turn the intensity up a little bit so we actually get some different results. Okay, so as you can see, everything is now Bowser, which is fucking hilarious. So, you see this right here? Every time I click this button, it'll load that save state and that corruption. What I can then do with this, if I want, is I can add it to my stockpile. Now, the stockpile is your list of saved corruptions. So when I press add to stockpile, it'll open a little window like this that says enter your new stash name. I'll enter my stash name. I'll call it stash name. And there we go. My stash name is there. So what I can now do is clear the stockpile history, and clicking that in my stash will always go back to that point. Then what I do is I press save stockpile as. It'll open a window that will look like this. And then what we do is we save it as stockpile, and there we go. Then every time you've made changes to your stockpile, just press the save button down here, and that's it. So yeah, that's basically the basic usage of the glitch harvester. You can create save states wherever you like, and keep pressing blast and get different results every time, which is freaking amazing. So we're just going to keep getting a few more here, see if we get anything interesting again. Well, obviously you can turn the intensity up and down here as well inside of the glitch harvester. This intensity controls the intensity in the main window. You'll notice the main window intensity will go up and down alongside this one. So they're actually linked, which is really cool. This is also linked to the engine. So if you have the Nightmare engine selected, the Distortion engine selected, or the Hell Genie engine selected, it'll use the selected engine, and it'll blast cheats, bytes, or blast backups. It'll do, ooh, Mario is swimming, let's get that one. We'll add that to my stockpile as well, and we'll call it, we won't do that because that was not the right button. We'll do swimming Mario. Here we go. And bam, we have those two saved. Press save. We can now load my stockpile and move slave. We can do, obviously most of these buttons are self-explanatory. Loading the stockpile will open this screen where you can load your different stockpiles. And save stockpile as will allow you to create a new stockpile name. It's basic Windows software usage. You should understand it fairly easily. And the blast editor section is currently not available, and it probably won't be available until the until a few versions after this version's release. So there's no need for me to explain that yet. That is a pretty advanced piece of kit which will allow you to deconstruct the corruption and view every single byte that was altered and changed to allow you to find the specific byte change you want, and then you can use that byte change and apply it later. That can also be done with the stockpiles though. You don't need the blast editor to do this, but the blast editor just allows you to deconstruct the corruption to get just the one you want, just the music corruption rather than anything else. So that's pretty nice, but as of right now it's not currently available. So, I'm going to tell you what I was just talking about. The way that I get this corruption to appear anywhere else in the game is pretty simple. So we're going to restart the game here, and what I'm going to do is you have to change it to from corrupt mode in parameters to inject mode, and then turn auto load state off. What this will allow you to do is inject this corruption somewhere else in the game. So we're gonna restart the whole game, and I'm gonna inject it right at the start with the first two Goombas and see what happens. So here we go. Come on, Mario, move, you fat twat. Boom! There you go. As you can see, I've applied the corruption somewhere else in the game. But it's caused slightly different issues. Now, if I wanted to take the fun to the next level, I could press select multiple, select both corruptions, and then press the merge button in the top left, and BAM! We now have swimming Mario with Bowser's. Okay, now we're going to talk about what the rest of this stuff here does. We're going to reset the game first, get it back to normal, and then we're going to talk about what these parameters do. You've seen what inject does, as I demonstrated. Original, I believe, just loads the original. Yep. Auto load state, as you saw with the inject, simply it chooses whether the state loads when you press blast/send, so I don't even have to, look, I literally can just keep adding corruptions to the game. You could make like Super Mario into a pizza if you really wanted to. But yeah, I'm going to keep that enabled. Load on select is pretty simple. All it does is load the state that you've selected as you select it. Stash corrupted will simply stash the corruptions. So if stash corrupted is checked, every time you do a blast or a send, it will stash the corruptions in the stash history. Like so. So if I disable stash corrupted, you'll notice that it's not stashing any of the corruptions. So it's best to keep this enabled if you want to keep your stash history. Stash injected is the same sort of thing, but for injections. So while we inject Swimming Mario here into the start of the game, stash injected is disabled. So if I enable this and then press it, inject button, as you can see, it'll stash that injection. So I can now add this injection to my stockpile. I can reload the injection later on, for example. Yeah, that's pretty much how it works, you know. Fairly simple. And then you have one final option here that's called backup history. Now, backup history is quite a demanding option. Turning this on will back up your stash history. So, say you have a couple hundred corruptions in here. So I get quite a lot right here. And you get to a point where the game crashes. So obviously you think, oh no, my stash history is going to go. Well, it will. But if you have backup history enabled, it will recover, but it might take quite a long time, and it can cause performance issues. Because it is backing up quite a lot of data. I mean, you can stash a fairly significant amount of corruptions. In fact, as many as possible until it crashes. You could just keep on going, keep on going until stuff happens. As you can see, all of these are saved, but backup history will back them up so that if the corruptor and the emulator crashes, the kill switch will restore the stash history. That's basically what it does. It's a kill switch feature that just restores the stash history. The stockpile is automatically restored if you were wondering about that. Okay, so we have one button left down here, that's called turbo switch. It's at first glance you may not know what this does, but you notice when I load a corruption here, it'll actually enable. So turning this button off attempts to disable the corruption in real time. Obviously, as you can see here, this doesn't always work because now I'm in World Z1. What the fuck is happening? I don't know. So we're going to load Slowbra. I'm pretty sure this one fixes. Nope, it doesn't. Okay. Nope. I believe this one actually can be. As you can see, yeah, the music's fucked, right? Let me turn it up so you can hear it a bit better. The music's fucked. So what we're going to do here, turn the turbo switch off. And the music's fine. Turbo switch back on. Music's fucked. So what this does is it disables the corruption layer on the fly. As you've seen, it doesn't always fix all the issues, but it's pretty awesome nonetheless, because you can remove the bytes that were added, but obviously some of the bytes do permanent damage that simply cannot be removed. But whatever damage was done here can be removed. Okay, so we have one box at the bottom here, and that's called render output. Now what this allows you to do is record either, I believe, videos and audio. And there's two checkboxes. You've got render at load and render on corrupt. What these things do is render at load renders as soon as you... It starts rendering as soon as you click the save state so that you don't have to try and time it correctly with the button. So I'm going to select wave, and I'm going to render on load my Super Mario Bros. 2 corruptions. As you can hear, it's actually recording a lot faster than it actually plays. It records faster than real time. Then I press stop render, and it's done. Okay, so what you got to do is you've got to go to the RTC folder, go to BizHawk, and find the render output folder. You'll see that it comes out in a file like this. So we're going to open it with Windows Media Player because VLC is not in a good mood today. And there you go. Okay, so I have one more thing to show you. If you're wondering what the mysterious external ROM plugin does on the real-time corruptors main screen. I'll now show you. As I said in the previous video, it has something to do with the glitch harvester. And it does. What it essentially allows you to do is open an external ROM plugin. Yeah, who saw that coming? What you do here is you open this selected box. You can choose null, which will allow you to use any corruptor that's capable of automatically opening an emulator with the real-time corruptor, which is amazing. That's what the null plugin is. The VineCorrupt plugin is a RTC version of VineCorrupt designed for the RTC, and VSRC is the VineSource ROM corruptor. Now, it's worth noting that these plugins are not final right now, and some of these may change before they release. So we're going to take a quick look at VineCorrupt and how this works. So we're going to restart plugin. It will, I haven't opened it yet. Let's see if this opens correctly. Aha! There it is, VineCorrupt RTC. So the way this works is it works like VineCorrupt. So let's just have a quickly see if I can explain. So first we're going to load a ROM. I believe it'll be an NES ROM. I didn't mean to open that. I believe we're going to load an NES ROM. We'll load Super Mario Brothers again. And what we're going to do here is click NES. I believe that my dog is going to change this so that it automatically selects a tab once it's released. Right now it doesn't, but yeah, basically it'll select NES, and here you go. You've got VineCorrupt. And let me show you what you do. What you do is you make a save state in the real-time corruptor's glitch harvester, and then all you have to do is configure the VineCorrupt as you would normally. You know, select whatever you'd like, and then press the corrupt button. This will come up one time. Then you can press run, and boom. What happens then is every time you press corrupt, it sends the corruption through the glitch harvester. So we're going to change the step size on these and press corrupt, and each time we press corrupt, as you can see here, it will send the corruption through the glitch harvester, and it will function like you're using the RTC but through an external plugin. As you can see, it works quite well. We're getting some pretty similar results right now, but this is all to do with VineCorrupt, so we'll change it to add, see what we get then. Yeah, as you can see, it loads your save state and corrupts, just as if you were using the glitch harvester normally. Now this allows for some pretty awesome stuff to happen. Now if you want to look at the glitch harvester while we're doing this, you'll notice it says intensity is unavailable at the moment, and that's true. You cannot adjust the intensity because everything is controlled by VineCorrupt at this point. Your stash history is saved, so every single corruption you get through VineCorrupt or any external plugin can be saved as an actual corruption and can be added to a stockpile. So we're going to add this as VineCorrupt right there. As you can see, even if you switch back to a normal engine and then, you know, press VineCorrupt, it will still load the corruption exactly the same way. Very, very cool stuff. But we're going to switch back to external ROM plugin for now. So yeah, this is freaking awesome. Obviously, like I said, this is all subject to change. The whole thing is, to be honest. But as of right now, this is what it looks like, and it works really, really freaking well. So, yeah, I cannot wait for this to be released. I'm pretty sure these are going to be bundled with the real-time corruptor. And by that I mean this plugin right here that was created by Eclusar and my dog, specifically for the RTC, I believe is coming with the RTC at release. And I'm pretty sure the VineSource ROM corruptor plugin is also coming with it. So we're going to launch the VineSource ROM corruptor plugin as well. As I said, this will come up the first time. It always does. And then you got this, which is a slimmed down VineSource ROM corruptor. I can't really show you because it's too big, but yeah. What we do here is we enable byte corruption. You know, I don't need to show you how to use the VineSource ROM corruptor. Come on. It's fucking easy. Everyone knows. Everyone can do this in their sleep. I could do this while juggling ham, for fuck's sake. It's so easy. So you just press run, and bam. And if you want to, you can enable the hotkey down here as well, and just press enter, which will, which will increment your byte as well as sending the corruption through. I don't think I'm corrupting the game enough, so we're just going to go to 10 and try it again. And as you can see, it works like as if you were using the VineSource ROM corruptor, except it instantly loads the save state. And yeah, this is just freaking awesome. And as with Vine Corrupt, all the corruptions are saved in the stash and can be added to a stockpile right here. So I'll make one called Vine Source. I'll close this window. As you can see, I can load the Vine Corrupt one, and it loads like it loaded Vine Corrupt plugin. And I can click this one, and it will load like it did with the Vine Source plugin. And that's that, really. That's pretty much it. It's some seriously impressive stuff, the external ROM plugins. As I said before, you can use the null plugin, and the way the null plugin works is a bit more difficult. So say you have a corruptor that works with the real-time corruptor. What you have to do is point the emulator at this right here. There's a file called externalcorrupt.exe. You have to point this as the emulator in the corruptor. So say you want to use, for example, you know, someone's made a new corruptor and you want to use it with the glitch harvester. You point this executable right here, externalcorrupt.exe, as the executable, and it will launch through the null plugin. And it will work just like Vine Corrupt and the Vine Source ROM Corruptor do, except obviously they won't be trimmed down and altered so that they function correctly with this. Yeah, and that's basically it. That's the glitch harvester. The last thing I want to show you is the Corrupt Cloud. What the Corrupt Cloud does is allows you to save your selected corruption as one of these codes. So when I press Save Selected to CC, it creates a code. What I can then do is, whenever I please with this code, I can copy it, I can paste the code into this bar. So what I'm going to do is cut this code out, and I'm going to restart the game. What I can then do is, hey, my friend, send me a code. Paste it in there. What I can then do is wait for the game to start, and I've got a choice. I can inject it, which will just inject the blast layer like the inject button does without loading a save state, or you can use Corrupt Cloud button, which will attempt to load a save state as well as add the layer. But obviously I don't have a save state, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to inject it, and as you can see, it's just caused the game to fuck up. Brilliant! But obviously, right now this doesn't include the original save state that was used to make the corruption. So as of right now, the corruption will not be identical, and at some point, save states may be included with this code. So it for example, will replace save state 19 or something, or save state 2, and pressing Corrupt Cloud will load the corruption as well as the save state that created the original stockpile. Hopefully. And I'm not 100% on this, but as of right now, this does work, and you can get... If you have a save state yourself that's in the same place as the original save state that was created, this does work. So I'll attempt to create one about there. So if I then do Cloud Corrupt... as you can see, it worked. It loaded the correct place. But, as I said, right now it's not perfect, but it does work. So if you have a save state in the same place, this will function correctly. Anyway, guys, I'd like to thank you all for watching these two tutorials. It's been a long time coming, but the real-time corruptor is finally here. I will provide links in the description if you want to get it. And holy crap, it's awesome! So, yeah, I hope you guys have a lot of fun with this like I have over the past couple weeks. I'll see you guys in the next video.